All right, is this working? Sorry, hang on, guys. I'm having a bit of trouble here. It says I've been live for 27 seconds. So hopefully, let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yay! Okay, and is it in both ears this time? Okay, awesome. That is great. How are you guys doing? I'm so glad to be here again. Thank you so much for 100 more subscribers than last time. I am blown away that I've gotten that many subscribers. Like I said last time, you know, my YouTube channel is kind of just, you know, it's just for fun. And so it's really cool that you guys want to follow me and know what I'm doing. Let me figure out. There we go. Okay. So we're going to do basically what we did last time, which is I'm going to go to the couple questions that I've gotten on Twitter, and then I'll read the chat and see if there's any questions there. And if we run out of questions, which I am totally expecting, I have a list of 100 questions linked down below. I only got through 18 of them last time. So it's 100 questions. So we've got, what is that? 82 to go? All right. So let's start with the Twitter questions. So the first question I got is from my friend CJ, Blue 15 Bomber. He's in the chat. His first question is, why are we here? Just to suffer? And I'm pretty sure that's a troll question. But I'm going to answer it anyway. Why are we here? Well, I think we're here to ease other people's suffering. Or at least, you know, make the world a bit of a better place, I would say. At least I've decided that's why I'm here. So my goal is to be kind of a net positive in life, you know, add something good to the world instead of adding something bad to it. But yeah, life can be tough sometimes. Um, and then he says, anyway, on a serious note, what was the hardest costume to make when you were cosplaying? That one, this is going to be a longer answer, was definitely, from a technical perspective, was definitely sardonyx. Trying to figure out how the arms would work. It's actually hanging beside me right now. It's got this whole network of bones and wires and corseting and foam and stuffing. So it was really fun to figure that out, actually, because I made the hands and the arms themselves fully posable. So I like to freak people out when I'm wearing it, by like having it hold on to something or, you know, do the peace sign or something in a really realistic way. It's really kind of fun. The other hard part about it, sorry if I'm talking too fast, by the way. I've had caffeine, so I'm probably a little over the top right now. The other hard part about it was probably the big giant hammer, which I should really post more pictures of that. I took some really good pictures pretty much a year ago, exactly. Because I went to a convention, which I'm not going to this year. It's a small little anime convention. And that was actually the first time I brought the hammer out to the convention, because the first time I wore it, there was a emergency change in the weapons policy. They basically said you can't bring any weapons because they had kind of a scare. So I wasn't allowed to bring my hammer the first time, which was actually good because it was kind of floppy and I had to fix it. But so I have some really good pictures of this giant hammer that I made. It's like really in proportion. I carved it all out of like insulation styrofoam that I got from the Home Depot, and it came out really nice. I'm really proud of it. I've never made a giant prop before, so that was a new experience. I kind of had this whole setup in my garage, and I was, working with power tools. Okay, it wasn't really so much a power tool as it was a bread knife, but it made a lot of noise and it sounded really impressive, and styrofoam was flying everywhere. And, anyways, I had a lot of fun doing it. So, the hammer was really hard, but actually, the hardest part about the costume ended up being the stupid glasses. She has this big, giant, kind of dragonfly looking glasses, and I couldn't figure out how to make them. I wanted to make sure that the plastic was stiff enough to really look like glasses, so I couldn't like make it out of cellophane or anything like that. So what I ended up doing was what did I take? I don't know, but it was something that was clear and red and hard plastic, and I think it was like a laptop cover or something. And I drew a stencil, and I ended up using like a Dremel tool to cut it out, which actually ended up melting the plastic more than it did actually cutting it. And that was after I'd spent hours and hours trying to carve it out, literally with an X-Acto knife. So that was the single part that, like, the sewing was not as bad, making the arms was not even as bad, but making those stupid glasses was the hardest part for me. And the worst part is they broke. Right when I got to that second convention, the little anime convention, they just split in half because they were tired of being sort of molded around my face. So all that work kind of eventually came to nothing. But that's okay. I actually bought a new pair of sunglasses that I'll probably wear if I ever do wear her again, which I'm not sure I will. But I found a pair of glasses that will kind of work. They don't look exactly like they're supposed to, but they get the idea across. So yeah, that was definitely the hardest cosplay I've ever done. In terms of sewing, the hardest costume I've ever done was probably, I did sort of a big Marie Antoinette kind of style dress for Singing in the Rain. For that scene where they're doing sort of the sort of 18th century film, and they're having trouble with the microphone and stuff on Lena Lamont. So I made that costume, and it took me a long time because the fabric is actually beaded. Beaded fabric is really hard to work with because the beads on the fabric tend to break my sewing machine needles. Not to mention it's just a lot of fabric and a lot of dress, but it looks really pretty on stage. I was really proud of how it came out. The beads kind of shimmer in the light, and I put some kind of like glitter fabric down the front of it, so it looked really pretty. So I got to wear a big Marie Antoinette costume, which is definitely my favorite period of fashion. It was probably the 18th century. So I was really glad to get a chance to do that. But that was probably the hardest sewing I've ever done. The rose quartz cosplay was also pretty difficult. So now that I've babbled for like 15 minutes about that, let's go on to the next question. Oh, Blue 15 Bomber also asks, have you seen Invader Zim Enter the Florpus yet? It's really good. I have not seen it yet. I am waiting to watch it with my sister. Invader Zim was kind of something that I would say it was from childhood, but honestly it wasn't. It was from high school, like late high school, actually, that I really got into Invader Zim. It's actually kind of a funny story how I got into Invader Zim. So, okay, I was in high school, right? And a lot at the time, I think Halo had pretty much just come out. Halo, the video game, and so all the geek guys in my school were really into it. So they would have these Halo parties where they would bring a bunch of TVs and a bunch of Xboxes to somebody's house, and they would all just play Halo. So I thought, being, so brilliant, I thought that this would be a great way, because my crush, the guy I had a crush on at the time, was one of these guys. So my brilliant idea was I would go to one of these parties, and that would be a great way to get him to notice me. Well, of course, it didn't work out because, you get a bunch of boys in a room with with the video game, and they're not going to pay attention to anything that's going on around them. They're just interested in the video game. So I went with some friends, and we kind of tried to play the game. I wasn't very good at it. And actually, my crush's older brother was there for some reason. He was like 8 or 9 years older than him. And for some reason, he'd brought his Invader Zim DVDs. He was really into Invader Zim. So he could kind of see that my friends and I were sort of bored. So he put in Invader Zim on one of the main TVs in the living room. And I just fell in love with it. I thought it was great. I thought it was hilarious. From that day on, all our friends kind of got really into it for a little while. And I don't know. I love Invader Zim. I love the aesthetic of it. I love the humor of it. By the way, if you ever want to follow somebody really funny on Twitter, Jonan Vasquez, I think I said his name right, but he's the creator of Invader Zim, and he has some of the funniest, weirdest, most quirky tweets. I really love following his Twitter. I've followed it for years and years and years. All right, so my next question, and I think this is my last question on Twitter, is, are there any exercises or tips to get one's voice ready to voice act? Well, I am not very good at doing warm-ups. Um, I should really be better at that. What I like to do is I like to sing a couple songs. I have kind of a playlist that it's kind of like my karaoke playlist. And so I'll find a couple songs to sing from there. And by the time I'm finished singing, I'm usually pretty warmed up. But some actual good warm-ups, it can kind of depend on what you're doing. If you're doing something that's really nasally, you're going to want to, you're going to want to actually do some kind of more nasal warm-ups to get your voice kind of focused forward into your nose and kind of forehead area. The other one that's really, really useful, I think, is they call them sirens, which is where you kind of start at the bottom of your range and you go up and then you come back down again. So it's like, woo, like that. And that's really helpful. Do that a bunch of times, and it will get all of your range warmed up, and it will also kind of help you with that transition in between where you're going from chest voice to head voice, because you're trying to make it sound as smooth as possible as you're going through there. So yeah, do some sirens, sing some songs. That's what I would recommend. You do have to be a little careful about what songs you sing if you're going to sing a song. Don't do anything where you're like really pushing it, where you're like really belting out things in your chest voice or using a weird voice or anything. I sometimes fall into that trap because I like a lot of songs where characters are doing weird accents. One of my favorite musicals is Little Shop of Horrors. And of course, the main love interest in that one, Audrey, she's got this really heavy, I'm pretty sure it's a Brooklyn accent and a really nasal voice, and she belts. And I love those songs, but I can't sing them to warm up because they're going to hurt my voice. So you do have to be careful about what song you sing if you're going to sing a song. All right. So I think that's all my questions from Twitter. I'm going to go ahead and check the chat. Let's see, how we all doing? We're doing good. How are you all doing? Not sure if my first question's saved too for now. Let's see. Favorite, least favorite fruit and vegetable. Okay, fruits. Let's see. My favorite fruit is probably mangoes. I love my favorite like drink ever is just like a mango smoothie. Just like puree some mangoes, put some ice in there. That's my favorite. Um, Least favorite fruit. I don't like anything sour. So I would probably or anything tart really. So even some berries kind of I don't really like raspberries. I'm not huge on. I don't like, I mean lemon's okay, but I'm not just going to like eat a lemon or grapefruit. I'm not a fan of grapefruit at all. And actually I can't have grapefruit I don't think because of my medication. Um so yeah, least favorite is probably grapefruit. Favorite vegetable is definitely asparagus. Least favorite vegetable is anything else. Asparagus, for some reason, is the only vegetable I will eat. Um, and I'm not sure why that is. I think it probably has to do something with it's usually prepared in a nice way. Um, but yeah, I could just eat asparagus like I eat French fries. All right. Favorite, least favorite experience in the fandom voice acting so far. Favorite experience. Honestly, I would have to say Scooter Tricks has been the most fun redubbing Scooter Tricks. Just because I get to play so many characters. So that's probably my favorite. Least favorite. I mean, there's certainly things here and there where I'm not as proud of them. I guess least favorite experience would be um just having a fallout with a director. That wasn't any fun. I don't like confrontation. I don't like dealing with people, but I had to quit the project, and that was kind of a bummer. Um, let's see. Adorabat versus Jigglypuff. Who would win? Probably Adorabat, I would think. Unless you fell asleep first, that would be a problem. Tell us more about your Sona/avatar design. Okay, yes. Well, I kind of talked about her last time, but she's obviously, her design is very much based off of Alice Angel from Bendy and the Ink Machine, and Betty Boop, and a character called Clarice from my favorite Chip and Dale cartoon. An old cartoon, I think it's from 1951, I want to say, called Two Chips and a Miss. And so she's the kind of like the girl chipmunk character. She's absolutely my favorite. Um, and she's really popular in Japan. So when I was over in Japan, I bought all this Clarice merchandise because you can't find it here in the States because nobody knows who you're talking about. But over in Japan, she's really popular. Um, and then of course it's kind of based on me as well. Um, I used to have my hair dyed that way where it was black in the front and then it's got blue streaks, or black in the back and it's got blue streaks in the front. So it's not like that anymore because it was just too high maintenance for me. So, but I really liked that style. I thought it was very me. So I gave her that hairstyle. Her name is Kitty Foyle. Her last name is spelled Voile, and which in most contexts is pronounced voile, I think, because it's French. But in my case, I pronounce it voile because it's a joke. It's a pun based off of my favorite movie, which is Kitty Foyle, which stars Ginger Rogers, and that's my favorite. That's my favorite old movie. It's really very cute and very sweet. She's absolutely adorable in it. And so I thought that I would rhyme with that. And since I'm kind of a seamstress, I thought I would go with, the name of a fabric, which is voile. Basically anything that's like transparent, like organza or chiffon, can be called voile. And that actually is one way you can pronounce it, but I think the correct pronunciation is technically voile. So yeah, her name is Kitty Voile. And I honestly created her pretty much just before I created my YouTube channel. So she hasn't been around for very long, but she's a good little Sono. She's a good little self-insert. You mean the three of us, the two of us? Yeah, there's not many people in right now, but that's okay. Oh, actually, there's 7 watching right now. Hey, guys. Welcome in. Let's see. The first answer. What about that hammer? Dun, dun, dun. I already talked about the hammer. Do you want me to talk more about the hammer? Dying to see pictures after? Yes, I should post some pictures on Twitter or something. Same here. Watched it yet? Halo Combat Fall down. I feel old. Dang it, wait for the PC port comes out. Yes. Gosh, I was never any good at Halo. I'll be honest. I do like that game that was in the original. I don't know if they still have it. The sort of capture the flag thing. I thought that was so fun. Do you know the villain of the Steven Universe movie? It's called SpinelStar. Is it really? Oh, that's hilarious. I was wondering if they would start doing Spinel as a jewel. Oh gosh, that's so funny. Oh, I'm even more excited to watch it now. Of course, my birthstone is Aquamarine, so I was really excited when they came up with Aquamarine, and Aquamarine is, of course, super adorable. I used her as my avatar in a lot of things. I think she's still my avatar in Casting Call Club, because I just love her so much. I know, Kitty, if there's something fishy about her. There's something fishy about her? She's not a mermaid, although somebody did draw a very sweet little fan art. I think it's in a playlist on the front of my channel. So thank you so much for requesting that, AJ. That was really sweet of you. Can you mention that Jack got you on the finale of Scooter Trixie Abridged? Yes! Both me and CJ, Blue 15 Bomber, made it into the last episode. So technically, I am in Scooter Trixie Abridged. I was so happy that Jack decided to include me. I have a feeling Blue 15 Bomber, who was one of the editors, had something to do with him choosing to put me in the final episode. So thank you so much for that. That was really fun to work with Jack. He's a great director. He gave very clear direction on what he wanted. I was excited to see which pony I was actually cast as. I think it's hilarious that most of the characters in Scooter's Tricks are gender switched. So I actually ended up, my voice went with Dr. Hooves, which was really, really fun to me. I'm not a huge Doctor Who fan. I could never really get into it, but I just think that it's hilarious that clearly people in the casting crew are such geeks that they had to include a character that's like Doctor Who. So I thought that was really cool that I got to be Dr. Hooves in Scooter Trixie Abridged, the final episode. So that was really exciting. What was your thought doing it and realizing your character was... Yes, since you like David Tennant, yes, I do kind of... I admitted to CJ that I kind of do have a crush on David Tennant. I have a crush on a lot of actors, I would say. Celebrity crush kind of thing. Especially if they're from the UK. I am, in fact, a sucker for that. David Tennant is actually Scottish, but in most of the stuff I've seen him in, he's doing an English accent, and he's very good at it. So, yeah, I've been watching Good Omens pretty much nonstop for the past couple of weeks. I really love it. I'm really obsessed with Good Omens right now. So, if anybody's looking for something fun to watch, I really, really recommend Good Omens. David Tennant was really excellent in that. Michael Sheen is my hero. He is so cute in his role as Aziraphale. He plays an angel, and he is just the sweetest little like cinnamon roll ever. I think that he does an excellent job at it. So I'm having a lot of fun watching that over and over again. This is something I've accepted about myself. I just, when I like something, I will just watch the same thing over and over again. It's hard to get me into new fandoms, but once I'm into a fandom, I tend to become obsessed with it. I have a one-track mind, very much so. Okay. What got you into the voice acting game? Like, what was your first VA project you participated in? I think Casting Call Club is a really excellent website for starting out. There's a lot of fun fandom projects on there. It's a big website. A lot of people use it. And so I pretty much just started off on there. The first things I auditioned for were actually dead projects. And I kind of did that on purpose because I was really nervous to actually get casted in something. Because I was like, how is this going to work? You know, are they going to like my recordings and everything? I think the first project I got casted in that actually got done, I talked about this a little bit in the last Q&A, was definitely a fanfic reading, for Agent Fluffy, which was the How Could You rarity. So that was a really fun project, and she's a really good director. Definitely check out her channel. Let's see here. Next question. The common mode in gating. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Because it was fun. Blood Clutch. Most iconic map in that game with the 2 boxes in a field. I don't remember. No, actually, I do remember that. That was totally the one that we always used. Was it like the 2 forts, I think? Yes. I was the beige pony with the red hair. Yes, Blue 15 Bomber. Like I said, he also made it into Scooter Tricks. She's a monster. Let's see. Isn't there a law saying you have to crush on Ted? I think there is, honestly. Yeah. Probably. Well, he was definitely the actor that got a lot of girls into Doctor Who. Let's just put it that way. Okay. And you like the British accent. What's with you? Loving my folks' voice. I don't know, man. It's just a thing. I guess. Maybe because it's different. Of course, I really like his Scottish accent, too. So, yeah. I was really here for when Peter Capaldi was announced as the 12th Doctor, I think. I thought he was just excellent. And I like that they went back to sort of that older man aesthetic that they kind of started out with. So, I like his outfit. It's a really cool, like, coat that he's wearing and stuff. Okay. I freaking love watching the Monty Python sketches on Netflix. I need to watch more of that. I've watched some of the movie, but other than that, I haven't really watched that much in the way of Monty Python sketches. But I do like it. It's not necessarily my type of humor, but it's funny. It's great. Wait, was my project on Casting Call was a dead project? It was not a dead project. That was not one of the first things I auditioned for. The first things I auditioned for were mostly song covers. I auditioned to sing Garnet's part in Here Comes a Thought, which I didn't get cast in, and I think the link is still up there and nobody's been cast for it. So I also auditioned for, there was somebody who was going to do all of the My Little Pony songs as covers. And so I auditioned for a bunch of characters in that, and as far as I know, nobody ever got cast. Get me too. Just watching Life of Brian. Life of Brian. Yeah, I've heard a lot about that one. I haven't watched it. All right. Well, if nobody else has any questions, I will go ahead and move to this list that I have. Okay, yeah, so the last question I think I answered last time. Oh, by the way, we're halfway through. I'm probably going to sign off at about 5 p.m. here. So, in 30 minutes. All right, so yes, the last question I answered was number 18, are you religious? So, number 19, is, are you a people person? I do not consider myself a people person. I very much am an introvert. I like to be alone. I like to have my alone time. I don't like places with lots of crowds. But I will say that my friendships, the relationships that I have that are really close, are probably the most important thing in my life. So in that sense, I guess I'm kind of a people person. But in general, no. I would rather do things myself. Group projects were the bane of my existence in school. All right, question 20 is kind of related. Are you considered popular? I do not consider myself popular. I guess I would consider myself liked. I rarely end up with people who have some sort of problem with me. That's probably because I'm just like too nice to everybody and I keep it all inside and I don't tell people what I usually really think. So, a little bit of a vulnerable moment for me there. Where do you see yourself? This is in the chat. AJ Pony asks, where do you see yourself in your VA career in a number of years? Some goals, etc. Well, actually, what was it? On Tuesday, I went to visit with my producer to finish up my demo reels. So I am hoping to send my animation demo reel to my dream agency, which is Atlas Talent Agency, and they do accept submissions. So I'm hoping that they'll at least give it a listen. I'm not sure if it's good enough. I do need to edit it down a little bit. It ended up being a little long. But I'm hoping to send my demo reels to a couple potential agents in LA, including Atlas Talent's agency. They represent Jim Cummings, who of course is beyond famous, and they represent Hynden Walsh, who plays Starfire in a lot of the recent animations. And they actually also represent Ed Bosco for you Haslin Hotel fans out there. So, yeah, I'm kind of hoping I might get a chance to actually get agented, in which case I would hopefully move to Los Angeles. And introverted, I imagine someone sitting on a bed wrapped in blankets. No matter who it is, that's what I think. I think that's really cute. Guess you are people working with the big boys, such as Wokigs. Yes, I am working with a lot of big names in the fandom. Big girls. Yeah, I'm excited for Journey of the Spark. We did the song, which I think came out really good, and so I'm excited to go back to working on that. Am I late with some of that? I probably am. I need to do the new script and everything, but definitely watch out for Journey of the Spark on Blue 15 Bomber. Is that going to be on your channel, Blue 15 Bomber? Oh, yes, and I'm also in Northbridge's Dueling Dimensions, which is My Little, or Equestria Girls and Yu-Gi-Oh! Crossover. So I'm excited for that. I'm playing Wallflower Blush and Juniper Montage. Okay, yes, Journey of the Spark is going to be on Blue 15 Bomber's channel. That's cool. All right. Back to the list of questions. Question 21. What is one of your bad habits? I used to chew my nails. I don't really anymore. My nails are actually getting pretty long. Ever since I stopped working, my nails have stopped working retail, I should say. My nails have stopped breaking all the time, so that's kind of nice. Current bad habits, I would say my biggest one is probably just procrastinating with everything. That was definitely the case in school. Most of my papers were written the night before. Other than that, I definitely stay up too late most nights. I have a really hard time getting into a morning routine. I know me and AJ have been talking about that some, so I need to get back into that. Also, I don't eat very well. I'll be honest. Okay, question number 22. What's something that makes you feel vulnerable? Well, admitting my bad habits, for one. Something that makes me feel vulnerable. I don't know. There's not a lot. I don't have a lot of problem talking about like my emotions and stuff. I guess something that makes me feel vulnerable is when somebody asks me what's wrong. Um, I don't like it when people assume they know what I'm thinking, I guess. And that can make me feel sort of defensive pretty quickly if somebody's like, what's wrong? Or you look bored. Or that stems from a lot of psychological issues from my childhood, which we won't get into. But that tends to make me feel vulnerable sometimes. What's wrong with retail? I've heard some interesting things about it. Yeah, it's not great. The big thing was in most of the jobs I've worked, there's usually people who are kind of assigned to the back room all the time, and then people who are assigned to the front cash registers. I worked in two big box stores that had that system, and I was always assigned to the cash register, so that wasn't so bad. But then I worked in a smaller shop where it was pretty much all girls who were the sales associates, so you didn't have any, of the big strong men kind of being assigned to like do the shipping, to open the boxes and go through all the product and everything. So I would often be assigned to that, and for some reason opening boxes without fail would break my nails. And lifting those big heavy boxes around wasn't very pleasant either. So but I actually liked doing it because, like I said, I'm an introvert, and it was kind of easier to go through boxes than it was to do sales, honestly, for me. But the biggest thing about retail for me was just how tired it makes you, because you're on your feet all day. And so when I came home, I would just put my feet up and I would just zone out for hours. And so it kind of didn't really like leave much time or energy for any sort of a social life. But I liked it. I definitely liked my last job. It was one of my favorite stores, and so it was really fun to work at. Yeah, definitely customer service. Like, people can yell at you for just all sorts of manner of things that are out of your control. Like, if, they ordered something online and their shipping was late and they get mad at you, and it's like, well, I can't really do anything about it. So it's not fun. It's not fun. Yeah, hopefully I will never have to go back to it. I probably will have to get a part-time job of some sort pretty soon here, but hopefully it won't be retail. All right, 23. What would you name your children? Um, for girls, I have always been fond of the name Julie for some reason. For boys, I guess my cat is named Julian. So have I'd probably have two kids, and it would be Julie and Julian, a boy and a girl. But yeah, I don't plan on having children. I don't think. I mean, I sort of picture myself maybe adopting or having foster children, but I don't ever want to have my own biological children for so many reasons. All right, question 24. Who is your celebrity crush? Well, we already kind of discussed this. I do have a crush on David Tennant, but he's probably not my biggest crush. Like I said, I haven't seen a ton of stuff that he's in. Although he was excellent in, there was a PBS version of Hamlet that he did that also had Patrick Stewart as Claudius. And that was excellent. So I've seen that as well. But my biggest celebrity crush, I might have to say again Brent Spiner, who plays Data from The Next Generation in Star Trek. And I think one of the biggest things that drew me to him, I think I did talk about this in the last Q&A, but he has a lovely singing voice. He put out an album that has a bunch of old standards on it, and he sings like his singing voice is just fantastic. That is definitely something that will endear me to someone really quickly, as if they have a very nice singing voice. Um, Speaking of singing voices, actually, I kind of have a celebrity crush on Seth MacFarlane, of all people. I have sort of a love-hate relationship with Family Guy and American Dad and, all the other stuff he's done. But when he sings, he sounds like in his natural baritone voice, which he usually does when he's playing Brian. He sounds, he has this gorgeous dark chocolate voice that, it just makes me melt. And I love that he loves all the old Broadway sort of classical style and sort of the old crooner style of the 1940s. He sounds really good when he's singing. So I might also have to say Seth MacFarlane is a celebrity crush. I think he's back in the new Star Trek series, Picard. Is he really? That is super cool. I love Patrick Stewart. He's amazing. All right, I'm about to be a senior in high school, and all these stories aren't sounding too happy. Is there a way I can avoid these kinds of trouble? I don't know. Some part of me is like, um, I think it's good to have a short-term job in the service industry because I think that gives you a lot of sympathy. I know a lot of people, a lot of baby boomers, let's just put it that way, who have never worked in the service industry before, and they treat service people like crap. And I don't think that's okay. So I think maybe doing a job for a summer or a seasonal work, obviously around the holidays, is very common. I think that's actually a valuable experience. But otherwise, I would say go to college, get your master's, figure out what you want to do, or do freelancing or something like that. Just try to figure out how to make money some other way. You were talking about Data, so I guess you can be excited. Wait, is Data in the new Star Trek? Is that what you're saying? I would be very surprised. I'd heard Brent Spiner say that he was never going to play Data again, but maybe I'm wrong. All right, what is the next question? Oh, that is so cool. In the oh, okay, I'll have to watch that at some point. You'll have to send me that link. Okay. Question 25. So we are a fourth of the way through these questions now. What's your best subject? I assume it means in school. I am no longer in school. So my best subject actually was math. I was really good at math. I got a 5, which is the highest score on my AP Calculus exam. So, but then when I went into college, I went into the language arts. So I didn't actually do anything with math whatsoever. But I definitely was good at it. I don't know what that says about me, but. All right. Question 26. Dogs or cats? Cats. Definitely cats. I kind of feel like dogs are extroverts and cats are introverts, and I definitely get along better with introverts. Although my cat is actually kind of an extrovert. I would say he's like a quiet extrovert, mostly quiet, not really quiet for a cat. He follows everybody around the house. He always wants to know what everybody is doing. He doesn't like being left alone. He seems to have some sort of separation anxiety to a certain extent. And if he can't find anybody, he'll just wander around the house yelling as loud as he can until somebody responds, and then he goes running to find that person. So I'm definitely a cat person. I have a little black cat named Juju. And when I say little, I do mean little. He is only 8 pounds for some reason. He still kind of looks like a kitten. So he's a sweet baby. I love him. All right, 27. Well, these questions are from Tumblr. So the question is, most used social media besides Tumblr. I haven't really been on Tumblr probably for like a month, and I've been inactive on there pretty much for like a year. Um, I keep having people ask me where they can where they can see more of my art. I don't have a DeviantArt anymore. I used to have one. None of you will ever find it, hopefully. Because the stuff on there is really old and really crappy. But so people ask me where they can find my art, and I keep them to Tumblr, but I haven't really posted on there. And it's not because I don't like the platform anymore. It's really just because I haven't been drawing. And that was mostly an art account. So if you go back to my Tumblr, I have a lot of Steven Universe art, a lot of a lot of shipping art with Pearl and Garnet, which is kind of fun. I like them as a couple, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. So most use social media. I would say I'm pretty active on Twitter. North is going DA searching. Good luck with that. Totally not Gigi from Kiki's Delivery Service. Actually, my cat does look like Gigi, and I have cosplayed as Kiki, so he totally... I should take some pictures with him sometime. I've been meaning to do that for a while, but I've just never really gotten around to it. All right, question 28. Best friend's name. I'm not going to tell you her real name because she doesn't want to be identified, but she goes by Kat, K-A-T, on her Tumblr, and she is my sister. I don't know if there's a good way to find her through my Tumblr. She's probably linked somewhere, but oh, actually, if you go into my cosplay, she was my Pearl. When I did Rose Quartz and we did sort of the Revolutionary Girl Utena cosplay, she was my Pearl. So that's my sister, and she goes by Kat. And we are actually working on something that will hopefully come to fruition pretty soon. So stay looking for that because she is my best friend, and we have a lot of fun together. And has really good insight on stories and stuff like that because she was an English lit major and she's a writer. So I really enjoy her opinions on things, and we love bonding over certain media. Just today we were watching Good Omens and discussing some of the storytelling in that. So, yeah. So Kat is my best friend, and she is my sister. All right. 2 cats. Yeah, it won't. Hi, how are you doing, Kat? It's good to see you. All right, 29. Who does your main family consist of? That would be my mom and dad are still together, and just me and my older sister. She is a year and a half older than me, almost exactly. And yeah, that's my family. I don't have my own family yet. All right. Question number 30. Chocolate or sugar? Which do you prefer? I don't know. Chocolate or sugar? That's really hard. I think it kind of depends, honestly. I like, when I'm in the mood for chocolate, I want chocolate, obviously. But I actually don't like chocolate in most pastries. I don't like chocolate scones. I don't like chocolate pancakes. I don't like chocolate chips and pumpkin bread. I do like chocolate chip cookies. That's the one exception. But, so, when I'm in the mood for, like, a strawberry dessert or cheesecake or something like that, I don't want chocolate. I want something with sugar. And I do love sugar cookies. But I guess in general, I'd probably prefer chocolate over sugar. All right. Question number 31. Have you ever been on a date? Yes, I have been on lots of dates. Mostly first dates, mostly through dating websites. And I don't like it. I am not a fan of dating, so I don't do it much anymore. But yeah, I've been on dates. Dating's no fun. Question number 32. Do you like roller coasters? You found my DA? What? How do you know? Anyways, sorry, I got distracted by something North said. Oh crap, he's gonna link it. If you find it, you can link it if you want. That's okay. I've just thought nobody would ever find it. That's crazy. Okay. Let's see. Do you like roller coasters? Yes, I like roller coasters. I don't really like any like of those really hardcore roller coasters. I tend to like ones that just have a lot of drops and fun stuff like that. I don't really like the G-force thing where you get where you're going really fast around the circle or where you're going upside down. I mean, I kind of like that, but I prefer the stuff that's just like really big drops and stuff like that. So when I go to an amusement park that has a lot of roller coasters, the one I end up riding the most is probably the wooden roller coaster if I have one, um, because I think those are super fun. I don't enjoy roller coasters as much as I used to. I feel like lately they've been triggering my anxiety a little bit, and I'm not sure why that is, because I used to be like a huge roller coaster junkie as like a teenager, but I don't know, they're just not as fun anymore. So, um, yeah, I did find a SpinelStar on DA. It was a butch man. Oh, that's funny. I haven't really. That's interesting. Nobody usually takes this that name, SpinelStar. All right, question number 33. Can you swim? Yes, yes, I can swim. Um, I actually have a little spandex mermaid tail that I like to swim in sometimes. And so, yeah, and my family has a pool. So I've been swimming a lot this summer, but I don't like swimming in late August because actually that's when a lot of storms happen here. So, would prefer not to get struck by lightning. But I did go swimming a lot this summer. All right, question 34. What would you do in the event of an apocalypse? Um, honestly, I've always said that if nuclear Armageddon ever happens, I want to be right under the very first bomb that gets dropped. Because I would just prefer to just kind of vanish into nothing and not really know what happened. I don't really want to deal with that whole like scavenging and whatever, trying to figure out how to survive after, Armageddon happens. Whoops, Spinel. That's funny. I ship it. Um, question number 35. Have you struggled with any kind of mental disorder? Yes, I have. I have depression and anxiety. I try to be very open about talking about that. I am on medication for both. For my depression, I take sertraline, which is it's the generic version of Zoloft, basically, and that's really helped me a lot. It was kind of helpful because my mom had been put on it, so we kind of thought it was probably very likely to work for me as well, since I am her biological child. Um, and then for anxiety, I do have, I think the non-generic name of it is Ativan. So I will take that when I have a panic attack, and it usually starts to work in about 40 minutes. So that's been really helpful too. Definitely, if you struggle with stuff, definitely go to your doctor or a therapist, and because there's stuff that can help. I didn't realize for the longest time that I had depression, or even that my mother had depression, but that's a long story. But I definitely would say that I had it all through high school and all through college, and it was not a fun thing to struggle with. So I wish I had been able to talk to somebody instead. Um, did you make a journal post about nothing being posted for 5 years, Spinel? Um, I might have. I'm going to check that. I'm curious now. Let's see here. Wait. Oh, I forgot. They changed the URLs. It used to you would type your name first, and then you would, so it was like your username.deviantart.com, and they changed it so that it's deviantart.com/your name. Let's see. About, just so you know. I don't think I posted something like that. No, so that's not me, if that's what you're looking at, because my last post was about something else. Hey, wait a minute. Did you watch Endgame yet? I'm not answering that question, CJ. I'm not answering it. I'm hanging out with my friend who probably has the DVD. So actually, I'll probably get it from her this weekend. I'll probably borrow it if she lets me. Yeah, that is an annoying package, Northbridge. The search continues. Hey, Donkey Dude, how are you? Oh my gosh, it's been a while since we've talked. All right. By the way, check out Donkey Dude's channel. He does a lot of fun stuff, and I actually got to play Jigglypuff in a little brief Smash Brothers thing for him. All right. Back to the question list. Number 36. Are your parents together? They are. Yes, they still are. They've been together my whole life, which is, that's nice. Not to say they don't have their issues, but yeah, they're still together. All right, 37. What's your favorite color? Definitely blue or black, I guess. Well, we can split the diff and call it dark blue. Hey, Vocal Sweets. It's good to see you. Check out Vocal Sweets channel. I'm really excited about some stuff that's going to get posted there. Like song covers and stuff. I always love it when anybody asks me to do a song cover, and I had a lot of fun learning the songs that I did for Vocal Suite, so check out her channel. All right. Yes, I might go a little bit over time, but it probably will only be like 5 minutes or so. So we'll say that I'm gonna stay on for another 8 minutes. All right. Hello, darkness, my old friend. That's a great song, by the way. Also, The Graduate, which is, I think, originally where that song first appeared, that's a good movie with Dustin Hoffman. It's very, very, like, 1960s. If you're going to watch a movie from the 1960s, that one was actually pretty good. Okay. Question number 38. What country are you from / do you live in? I'm from the United States, and I still live in the United States. The only other country I have lived in was I did have a residence in Japan for a year because I went with the Japan Exchange and Teaching Program, which they called JET. So I basically helped teach English. I was a teaching assistant for that, so that was cool. 39. Favorite singer. I would probably have to go with somebody old. Like, I love Betty Grable. She has a very pretty, sort of bright voice. And obviously she was in a lot of movie musicals back in the 40s. As far as like current favorite singer, I'd probably have to go with Lady Gaga. She's kind of my jam. But my favorite stuff is like the old school Lady Gaga, like Bad Romance and Paparazzi and all those. All right, question number 40. Do you see yourself being famous someday? I hope maybe a little bit famous as a voice actor at least. I highly doubt it's going to happen. And, there's only so famous that voice actors really get anyway. But I would love to be invited to conventions to do panels and stuff like that. That would just be like a dream come true. And I'd probably always show up in cosplay as the character that I'm playing. Would be kind of fun. I love how some voice actors do that. Like Tara Strong has done some really fun cosplays of her characters. So I would definitely be that kind of voice actor who's totally just like a ham for attention. Not to say that Tara Strong is totally a ham for attention. She actually did come to my local convention, and she did a panel by herself, and she was really humble and really sweet, and tons of people asked her for impressions, and she did them all, for people's ringtones and stuff like that. She was really cool. It was really cool to meet her and get an autograph and everything. All right, question 41. Do you like dresses? Gosh, this this list must be for girls. But anyways, do you like dresses? I do like dresses. I don't like wearing pants very much. I think dresses are a lot more comfortable, and I have a lot of those very vintagey style dresses, the sort of 1950s style. I went to what's called Dapper Days at Disneyland, where a bunch of people dress up and try to look cute at the parks and stuff like that. So I love that kind of thing. I often style my hair that way. I'm very into the whole like vintage vibe. Do you want to buy a dress? Yes. All right. I'm going to try to blow through these and get through question 50. That'll be easy to remember. Okay, 42, favorite song right now. I have a couple songs I'm working on because I've been watching Good Omens. I have recently started working on that song, A Nightingale Sang in Berkeley Square. I think that's a really pretty song. I found an old recording of it, and I'm working on that right now. Other favorite songs. I want to keep going back to for some reason is Being Alive from Stephen Sondheim's Company. It's a very sweet song about, someone not understanding what's the point of like romance and relationships and stuff like that. But as he's singing, he sort of figures out that it sounds really nice. And it's a really romantic, really, really heartfelt, sweet song. Question number 43. Does talking about sex make you uncomfortable? No, it doesn't. 44. Oh, wow, this must be for girls. Okay, how old were you when you first got your period? I was 12 years old. Question 45. Have you ever shot a gun? No. Question 46. Have you ever done yoga? Yes. I actually, a couple of years ago, probably more like almost 10 years ago, actually. Gosh. No, maybe more like 7 years ago. I did go on a diet with Nutrisystem. I lost 50 pounds on Nutrisystem. And one of the ways I did exercise while I was doing that was I went to yoga twice a week. So yeah, I like yoga. It's very relaxing. And I like how you get to basically just lay on your back and take a nap at the end of it. That's my kind of exercise. All right, question 47. Are you a horror girl? No, I'm not really into the horror genre, mostly because I'm really squeamish around blood and guts. I like stuff that's kind of like psychological horror and stuff like that, but I can't watch stuff because it makes me feel like anything that has a ton of blood makes me feel like I'm gonna faint. I got through Sweeney Todd by closing my eyes a lot. I'll be honest. But I had to watch Sweeney Todd because obviously it's a Sondheim musical and it's very good. So that movie I was able to get through, but anything with blood, I can't do it. I'll be honest. I remember stretching my muscles in pain. Yes. Will you make your songs downloadable? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I should do that. Let's see. Can you do a Betty Boop impression? Yes, I can. Boop boop beep. One of my favorite lines is from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where she goes, where the detective is like, oh, Jessica Rabbit, she's married to Roger Rabbit, and Betty Boop goes, yeah, what a lucky girl. I think that's just the cutest line. All right, question 48. And yet she's Team Edward. That's funny. Yes, I love vampires, by the way. Yeah, if it's if it's a drop of blood, it doesn't bother me. But if it's like lots of beheadings and arms getting cut off and stuff like that, I can't do that. But I do love vampires. Vampires are a big thing with me. Question 48. Are you good at giving advice? Yes and no. I would like to think I have some good insights, but I don't like giving advice unless it's asked for, because I know that's something that can kind of irritate me. If I just want somebody to listen and they start giving me advice and trying to fix the problem, I'm like, I already thought of all that. So I don't like to give advice unless somebody specifically asks me for it. Okay, question 49. Tell us a story about your childhood. Okay, well, that's actually going to be a long answer. So I think maybe we should stop there. Unless anybody else has any questions. Once again, I just want to thank all you guys for subscribing to my channel. Oh, Kill Bill Volume 1. Yeah, no, totally. I did manage to make it through Kill Bill volumes 1 and 2. But again, it was a lot of closing my eyes. But it was good. That's a really good movie. I like it. Anyways, sorry. Back to my little outro here. I just want to thank you guys all for subscribing. It's been really fun. Just get to know people and interact with people. And I like that people have been following what I'm doing and wanting to know what I'm up to. I think that's really great. I'm sorry that I have not been posting on my channel much. I think it's been coming out to like an average of once or twice a month. So I'm going to keep trying. It's been kind of a weird couple of months these past few months, and it might be another weird month. But after that, I'm going to try to start posting a little more consistently. My goal is once a week, but if it ends up being once every other week, I'd be happy with that. I am also working on a lot of auditioning for paid projects, so that's taking up a lot of my time. But I do have a lot of fun song covers that I want to do, and some of them are like kind of half recorded, they're in the works. So yeah, look out for those. One question I want to, you okay voice acting a character who engages in polyamorous relationships? Yes, absolutely. I think that's beautiful. And to be honest, I am a very much a multi-shipper kind of person. Whenever there's like a group of friends or whatever, I tend to ship everybody with everybody because I just like relationships and I just like exploring relationships between different types of characters. So I'm definitely a multi-shipper sort of person. I do not confine any character to one ship. I don't really do the OTP thing usually. So yeah. Yes, thanks for that mental image. Blue 15 Bomber shoots out like a water sprinkler. Jeez. Okay. Well, I think that is it then. I want to thank you guys all for showing up. That's really nice of you to come and ask me questions and interact with me and stuff. I will be putting this up on my channel, so I might see if it needs to be edited or anything like that, but I don't think so. I think we're pretty good here. So thank you guys for coming, and I will see you around. Feel free to hit me up on Twitter. My DMs are always open. All right, guys. Bye.